I'm really enamored and excited when somebody makes a great party record and it's just all vapid, lyrical celebration, and it's awesome. It's not me. I can't do that. I'll just go away and not make my own records and just make other people's records whenever I feel like I don't have anything to say. Hey, what's up? This is Butch Walker, and welcome to Keepers of the Sound. I guess growing up in a smaller town, there was a little bit of a footloose vibe to it where there wasn't a lot of people allowed to listen to a lot of rowdy rock and roll records or even play music. And I was always drawn to anything, wherever I could hear music coming out of speakers. I would watch The Muppet Show of all things when I was a child. That was like my favorite show. Why wouldn't it be? The Muppet Band that performed was almost cooler than any real living rock band. That was pretty fun for me. That and the Monkees. I used to watch reruns of the Monkees TV show from the 60s. I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face, but when I was 8 years old, that's when I went to see my very first rock concert because I loved the Monkees so much that I begged my parents to take me to see Kiss. And that concert, that changed my life, pretty much. That made me want to make music the rest of my life because I'd never been in an encapsulated area with 20,000 people. I'm 8 years old and I don't know what's going on. I just know that I'm scared to death and I love it. It was so loud, but so awesome coming at me. The sound was so fucking loud that it terrified me, but it was in the best way possible. So the circus sucked after that. If you want it to look real, it's definitely me walking around disheveled and don't know where anything is. I got the AC/DC Back in Black album from my grandmother, believe it or not. I don't think she knew the extent of the lyrics being so overtly sexual and all that, or she would have never bought it for me. I almost didn't care what the lyrics were saying or anything. It was just the power and the guitar sounds and the drum sounds and everything coming at me were just really intense and really blowing me away. And so I would sit up in my bedroom in Cartersville, Georgia, upstairs and listen to records over and over and over again. And I just remember that being one of my first memories of really being drawn into how something was recorded. So right now I'm making my next record, and it's a concept record, so don't cringe, but it's definitely it's a whole story from beginning to end, and I've recorded a lot of it, but some of the songs have some holes, and I need to fill those sonic holes, in the track. Basically, I lay down a scratch vocal, a sketch vocal, and then sometimes just do it to a some sort of percussion or drum groove, and then laid in some piano. And so I'm going to start kind of building a little bit of it. I need space and some more guitar work, I think, and maybe even some harmonies on background vocals. So I think that's kind of where I'm going to get into now. I guess good sound matters to me just because after hearing how it was done, you strive as let's say a producer, even when I have all these tools here to make records, that I'm constantly trying to figure out how to get the best sound out of a vocal or a guitar or drum or anything like that. So it's just a self-satisfying goal, as a producer, I think. Wrote probably my first song about an ex-girlfriend, but that would have been at 14 or 15, so you don't really know much about love at that point in your life yet, but you think you do. And then I'm recording it on my 4-track and just trying to get the idea down, and sure, the drumming was terrible, the singing was pitchy, and everything was probably not good about it because I was not developed yet fully developed as a musician or a songwriter yet, but that's how you do it. You start making music until it doesn't suck. change. Check.
Please don't blame me for how I turned out. I learned a little late. I was born into what I became, and you were born this way. Try to show compassion, it might be all I got out here in the open. He said, please don't blame me for how I turned out. I learned a little late.
The reward of working on something musically and then getting to leave that room and come into another room and put it on and it actually translate into something that sounds good. That's the goal. The goal is to always make it sound better outside of the studio than worse. And that's an art form and a trick that has taken a lot of years to get to that level, I guess, of being able to do that. For years, when you're starting out, you're fooled a lot of times when you're in the studio by thinking everything sounds really good, and then you leave and put it on something, whether it be good or bad audio components. But I come out here and I can put it through really good speakers and a good hi-fi, and I can really tell what it's missing and what's going on. And I think it's good to have some speakers that don't lie to you and that will throw back at you the truth. I think the bottom line is when you get outside the tracking room, the main thing is, does it inspire you? And if it doesn't move me, I got to go right back in there and work at it again. When I was younger, I used to listen to records over at my friend's house, who his dad had an amazing sound system. They were big and they were loud and they were awesome. And I just remember hearing records on that and being excited, even though I didn't know much about music at the time. And so I was excited to get a set of the Cornwalls because they're still handmade, they're done beautifully, they sound incredible, the phasing is perfect, I think, on them, and they sound so true. I think they're really doing something right. I try to never lose sight of the fact that it still, to me, is quality over quantity. If that makes me sound old-fashioned, then fuck it.